If you are serious about coding, being a developer, a programmer in general, you're going to need a serious coding editor or an IDE that stands for Integrated Development Environment. And this can come at a price. For example, I do use the Sublime Text code editor, but if we look at the licensing here, it costs $70 for a single license, and if you're a team, depending on the number of people, it can be anywhere from $70 to $50 a license. So when you're just starting coding, it might be very, very expensive for you. So that might not be a good option. The other one that I use, and I got the license through my work, is WebStorm, which is a fabulous editor that does a lot of things for modern web development. But once again, when I go to the price, I can see that it's $129, and then it's a yearly license, so you have to pay every single year. So it adds up pretty quickly. So what do? You love to code, you want to get started, you want to follow a few tutorials, you want to go ahead and get better at this. How do you go about it? You need the right tools to get the job done. So I have two pieces of advice for you. If you don't own a computer yet, so let's say you're at the school, you're barely studying, and let's say you cannot really afford to have your own computer, there are a few options that you can go ahead to get started. For example, if you're in web development like myself, JS Fiddle allows you to pretty much have an environment. All you need is a connection to the internet. Go to jsfiddle.net, start typing your code, and basically you are already able to start doing stuff in there, and you can use the run here to go ahead and see your code being displayed here. Something similar to JS Fiddle is CodePen, and I really like CodePen just because not only it does offer that same environment. If you were to create a new pen, you'll see that you have HTML here, CSS, and JavaScript, and if you were to run this, it will go ahead and renders here. So this is very useful when you're following a tutorial, reading a book, or something like that, and just trying to get your feet wet. Now, the other thing that I like about CodePen is seeing what other people have built. So for example, there are a few projects here that you can go ahead and see how they have the finished product is here, and you can see how they went about building this. So not only you can use it as an editing platform, but at the same time it can be an inspirational platform by looking at what other peoples have done. Another one of my favorite is Plunker, and it's plunker.co, and you can go ahead and have the editor. You can add external packages. You can do the same for CodePen and JS Fiddle, but basically same thing. It's on the web, and it allows you to have a development environment. A very nice upgrade maybe to the Plunker platform might be the Cloud9 IDE, and as the name implies it's an integrated development environment in the cloud. So I'm already logged in and signed in into Cloud9, and basically I can look at a workspace. And there's a demo project that is already in place. I can open that, and I have a very powerful development environment right in the browser. All I need to do is go to their website, sign up, and I have that. So if we look at the pricing for Cloud9, so the free forever is very, very interesting. So if you're a student, you're starting to code, or even if you're a seasoned professional, you can go ahead and have an unlimited public workspace, a private workspace, and basically it's free forever. And you have a powerful IDE on the web. Anywhere, anytime that you have an internet connection, you can get to your project and get coding. Now, this is the case, for, I believe, for people who might not have a laptop handy all the time or a computer handy all the time. If you do have a laptop, if you do have the chance of having a laptop with your computer accessible, it might be very good to just go ahead and download one of these integrated development environment. I remember the first one that I ever downloaded is called Aptena. And I believe Aptena is still free right now, and it's a great environment. I have coded with it a long time, so it is a fantastic IDE right there, and you cannot beat the free part. One that is becoming my favorite as far as the free ones are concerned is called Brackets. And Brackets is provided by Adobe. Adobe, like provide Photoshop and add a design tool, but Brackets is a code editing tool. I like it because I can extend it the same way that I use Sublime. So most of the packages that I have in my Sublime editor, I can have it like in Brackets. It's a superb editor, and I'm thinking that that's something that I will highly recommend to the serious beginner getting into web development. It's geared more toward web development. If you're coming from a backend background, that might not be the editor for you. The last one I'm gonna talk about today is Atom. Atom is an open source editor done by the folks at GitHub. Just looking at the color scheme here, the ability to have, it's a full-blown editor. It has all the features that you might find in Sublime or WebStorm, and it's basically fully featured right out of the box. It's open source, so I don't think you can beat that. So I will be looking more into it, but that is a very serious tool to get started with in your coding education. So I hope that you will find this helpful. Please let us know in the comments if there are some other ones worth mentioning. So this is Adi from Coders for Africa Online Academy. Until next time.